Earth had always been considered an ordinary planet, a small blue dot in the vastness of the universe. To the intergalactic community, it was just another unremarkable world, inhabited by a species that seemed no different from the countless others scattered across the galaxy. Humans had been classified as a relatively peaceful species, living in a controlled environment and avoiding the dangers that many other planets faced. It was an easy assumption to make, until that fateful day. A well-known alien race, the Xalaris, had sent a team of explorers on a routine mission to catalog new planets. They were experts in surveying worlds and determining their risk level. The Xalaris were advanced in every way, known for their superior technology and vast knowledge. They had already visited countless planets, often evaluating their potential for trade, colonization, or other purposes. It was their job to keep track of planets and assess their value or threat to the intergalactic community. Earth, according to their initial scans, was supposed to be just another mild-mannered world, but something didn't add up. The data they gathered didn't match what they expected. The planet had been rated as a Class 13 Deathworld, a status that was nearly unheard of in galactic history. For context, the highest rating known to any species was Class 12, reserved for worlds with extreme danger levels, planets where survival was nearly impossible. Yet here was Earth, sitting proudly at Class 13. The Xalaris team was immediately alarmed. This was a world with dangerous weather patterns, deadly creatures, and unpredictable natural disasters. Yet it wasn't just the environment that was shocking. It was the fact that the humans who lived on this planet seemed to thrive in it. They hadn't just survived. They had adapted, evolving, and using their intelligence to overcome obstacles that would break almost any other species. The thought was absurd, yet the data was irrefutable. Word spread quickly across the galaxy. How could Earth, a relatively unknown planet, be considered more dangerous than anything the galaxy had ever seen? The Galactic Council, the governing body of the intergalactic community, immediately convened to address the issue. Representatives from various species gathered to discuss the implications. Some laughed it off as a mistake, while others were cautious, questioning how such a small, seemingly insignificant species could possess such resilience. The most startling part of the discovery, however, was the fact that the humans themselves seemed unaware of their planet's true nature. To them, Earth was simply home. It was where they lived, worked, and built their societies, oblivious to the fact that they were occupying one of the most dangerous planets in existence. The Council began to realize that the real danger wasn't the environment or even the creatures. It was the humans themselves. How could a species so unassuming possess the strength to survive and even thrive on a planet ranked higher than some of the deadliest worlds known to exist? The Galactic Council, which had never paid much attention to Earth, was now forced to take a hard look at humanity. Would they be a powerful ally or a threat that needed to be contained? The questions were endless, and the answers still unknown. The universe had just learned that Earth was far more than it appeared. And now, every species in the galaxy would have to reconsider their stance on this so-called insignificant planet. After the shocking revelation that Earth had been classified as a Class 13 Deathworld, the intergalactic community was thrown into chaos. The Galactic Council, which had previously considered Earth to be of little importance, now found itself forced to take action. There was no longer any room for dismissal or disbelief. The facts were undeniable. Earth, a planet once thought to be peaceful and ordinary, had now become a subject of intense curiosity and concern. The Galactic Council quickly organized a special mission to Earth. This team would be tasked with investigating the planet, studying its environment, and interacting with its inhabitants. Their goal was to confirm the data that had caused such an uproar and determine the true nature of Earth's dangerous status. It was a team made up of the best and brightest minds from across the galaxy, experts in diplomacy, science, and military strategy. They came from different alien races, all with unique perspectives, and each member was eager to uncover the truth. The team's arrival on Earth was met with confusion and wonder. Humans, who had never had contact with other intelligent species, were stunned to see the alien visitors. The very idea of extraterrestrial life had been a subject of fiction and myth to them, but now it was undeniable. A group of highly advanced beings from across the stars had come to their world, and they didn't know what to make of it. At first, the humans were curious but cautious. They had no idea what to expect from these visitors. The alien team, meanwhile, was in awe of Earth's ecosystem and its inhabitants. They had never encountered a planet so full of potential danger, and yet it was so vibrantly alive. The humans they met seemed unaffected by the deadly predators, unpredictable storms, and harsh environments that made Earth a Class 13 world. If anything, they appeared comfortable in their surroundings, as though they had long since accepted the risks as a part of life. The Galactic team began their investigation by exploring Earth's various regions. They trekked through dense forests, swam in vast oceans, and climbed towering mountains. Everywhere they went, they encountered creatures, some familiar, some strange, that tested their skills and intellect. Yet, it was the humans themselves that fascinated the team the most. The humans were not just surviving in this hostile environment. They were thriving. They had built cities in areas that seemed impossible to inhabit. They had developed technologies that allowed them to manipulate the natural world in ways that no other species had ever managed. Earth's natural dangers, which would have wiped out most species, had instead forced humans to evolve in a unique way, pushing their intelligence and resourcefulness to new heights. As the team spent more time on Earth, they began to understand the complexity of human resilience. It wasn't just about surviving. It was about the humans' ability to adapt and innovate. They had created entire civilizations on a planet that should have been too dangerous to inhabit. The more the aliens learned, the more they realized that humans were unlike any species they had ever encountered. But even as they marveled at human ingenuity, they couldn't shake the nagging fear that lingered in the back of their minds. Earth was not just a planet of survival. It was a planet with the potential to become a powerful force in the galaxy. As much as the humans had impressed the alien team, the bigger question remained: what did this mean for the future of the galaxy? Would Earth become an ally or a new threat? The answers, for now, were still unclear. But one thing was certain: Earth was a planet that could no longer be ignored. As the days passed on Earth, the Galactic team grew more and more fascinated with the planet's inhabitants. The humans' ability to survive in such a dangerous environment was unlike anything the alien experts had ever encountered. From the moment they set foot on Earth, they understood why the planet had been classified as a Class 13 Deathworld. Yet there was something uniquely impressive about humanity's way of life, something that made it stand out even among the deadliest worlds in the galaxy. Earth was a planet of extremes. The weather was unpredictable. Violent storms could appear out of nowhere, and the climate could change in the blink of an eye. The animals were fierce, from towering predators in the jungles to swift, stealthy hunters in the plains. The planet seemed to throw every possible challenge at its inhabitants, yet humans not only survived these dangers, but they had found ways to adapt and thrive. The Galactic team observed humans in their daily lives, noticing how they interacted with their environment. They saw how humans built structures that could withstand fierce storms, how they had created tools to help them hunt and protect themselves from wild creatures. Even more remarkable was how humans had adapted to their environment in ways that made them resilient. They had developed complex social systems, technologies, and farming techniques that allowed them to live in harmony with the very dangers that threatened them. The more the team studied, the more they realized that Earth's greatest strength lay in humanity's resilience. It was not just about surviving the dangerous creatures or extreme weather conditions. It was the humans' creativity and resourcefulness that set them apart. They didn't simply hide from danger. They found a way to confront it. Where other species would have been overwhelmed by the natural forces of the planet, humans figured out how to use their environment to their advantage. For instance, the team had witnessed how humans could tame and train even the most aggressive animals, turning them into loyal companions. They had developed methods to build shelters in places that seemed impossible to inhabit. From deep underground caves to towering mountain peaks, humans had established communities in the harshest parts of the planet, constantly adapting to their surroundings and pushing the limits of what was possible. The Galactic team's observations began to shift their perspective. What they had originally thought was a disadvantage, the extreme dangers of Earth, had, in fact, shaped a species unlike any other. Humans had evolved in a way that made them masters of survival. They had learned to live with risk, and in doing so, they had developed a level of ingenuity and creativity that made them far more dangerous than anyone had anticipated. But there was more to it than just surviving. The team realized that humans were driven by something deeper than just the need to survive. They had an innate curiosity, a hunger to explore, understand, and conquer. Where other species might have become complacent in their comfort zones, humans had pushed the boundaries, venturing into dangerous territories to learn, grow, and expand their reach. The more the Galactic team uncovered, the more they were left in awe of human nature. Earth's dangerous environment had fostered a species of survivors, inventors, and explorers. The galaxy had underestimated them for far too long, and now it seemed Earth might just be on the verge of changing the balance of power in the galaxy. What other surprises did humanity have in store for the universe? Only time would tell. As the Galactic team spent more time on Earth, they began to delve deeper into the history and culture of its inhabitants. While they had already discovered that humans were exceptionally skilled at surviving the deadly conditions of their planet, they now had to confront a new realization. Earth's dangerous environment had not only shaped humans into resilient survivors, but it had also made them skilled in ways that no one had predicted. One of the most startling discoveries was how humanity had turned warfare into an unexpected weapon. The team, composed of peaceful explorers and scientists, had assumed that Earth's violent past was a liability, something that would surely hold the planet back from ever becoming a true power in the galaxy. But as they studied more about humanity's history, it became clear that Earth's long history of conflict and war had played a pivotal role in shaping the humans into a force to be reckoned with. The team soon realized that Earth had faced countless wars, from ancient tribal battles to global conflicts, and despite the immense destruction they had caused, these wars had ultimately built the humans into something stronger. Unlike many other peaceful species in the galaxy who relied on diplomacy or overwhelming technology to solve their problems, humanity had developed a unique and highly effective approach to conflict. The key to their success was not their advanced weaponry or technological superiority, but their ability to adapt, innovate, and outsmart their enemies. The Galactic team soon discovered that humans had mastered the art of asymmetrical warfare, a strategy where they used their limited resources and ingenuity to overcome more powerful opponents. In the face of overwhelming odds, humans found creative ways to exploit weaknesses in their enemies and turn the tide of battle. The very fact that they had survived multiple world wars, where entire civilizations were nearly wiped out, was a testament to their remarkable ability to adapt to the horrors of war and emerge victorious. The team could not help but admire humanity's tenacity. They had witnessed firsthand how humans fought for survival, not just by relying on brute force, but by using their minds. It was their creativity that made them dangerous. They developed complex strategies, innovative tactics, and weapons that allowed them to level the playing field. Even in the most desperate situations, humans found ways to outthink and outmaneuver their enemies. As the team continued to study humanity's past, they also noticed something equally fascinating: the humans' ability to recover from devastating losses. Despite the toll that war had taken on their planet, humans were quick to rebuild and learn from their mistakes. They didn't allow past failures to hold them back. Instead, they adapted and evolved, always striving for improvement. This resilience, combined with their capacity for invention, made humans a dangerous species. While the galactic community had once seen them as a weak, primitive species, They now understood that Earth's history of conflict had created a species that was not only skilled in survival, but also capable of thriving in the face of chaos. The team, once skeptical about Earth's potential, now found themselves reassessing their views. The very traits that had once seemed like weaknesses, Earth's history of war, its unpredictable environment, and its violent past, were now viewed as evidence of humanity's unique strength. The galaxy had made a grave mistake in underestimating Earth. The humans were not just survivors. They were warriors, thinkers, and innovators. And as the Galactic team prepared to leave Earth, they knew one thing for sure. This was a species that would change the course of the galaxy forever. The shockwaves of Earth's new status as a Class 13 Deathworld had barely settled when the intergalactic community's worst fears began to take shape. The rogue alien faction, known as the Xylar, had long been displeased with the Galactic Council's decisions, and they saw Earth's sudden rise to prominence as an unacceptable challenge. If Earth truly had the potential to become a powerful force in the galaxy, they could not afford to ignore it. With growing unease, the Xylar decided to act before Earth's influence grew any stronger. They sent a covert military force to test the humans' abilities. Their plan was simple: attack Earth, see how its inhabitants would respond, and determine whether they were a threat that needed to be eliminated. After all, a planet that could survive such dangers on its own could be a dangerous enemy to the galaxy. The Xylar believed that if they acted swiftly, they could destroy Earth's military and crush any hope of the humans ever becoming a real player in the galactic arena. The Xylar's forces were formidable. They had technology far beyond anything Earth had ever seen. Their ships were sleek and fast, capable of crossing vast distances in mere hours. Their soldiers were enhanced, their weapons powerful enough to obliterate entire cities in seconds. They had the advantage in every way, except one: they underestimated the humans. As the Xylar forces arrived in Earth's orbit, they began to launch an assault on the planet. The first targets were cities, with the goal of overwhelming Earth's defenses before the humans had a chance to react. The Xylar believed that humans would panic, retreat into hiding, and crumble under the pressure of an advanced alien attack. However, they were wrong. Humans did not run. They did not hide. Instead, they organized. Earth's leaders, who had long been preparing for a potential conflict with other species, activated their emergency systems. Communication networks were established, and defense forces were quickly mobilized. Earth's military, though small in comparison to the Xylar's overwhelming power, was determined and relentless. The Xylar had expected chaos, but instead, they found unity. What followed was nothing short of a miracle. Humans fought back with an intensity and strategic brilliance that even the Xylar had not anticipated. The humans used their ingenuity to counter the Xylar's advanced weaponry. Makeshift defenses were built in hours, and Earth's military adapted their tactics to counter every move the Xylar made. What the Xylar did not understand was how well humans knew their own planet. They were experts in using their environment to their advantage, and they quickly turned the very terrain of Earth into a weapon. The Xylar's forces found themselves caught in unexpected traps. Cities and towns became battlegrounds where humans used guerrilla tactics to outsmart and outmaneuver the enemy. Even when their ships were attacked, the Xylar's technologically superior forces were forced to retreat, unable to handle the human resistance. In the midst of this chaos, the Galactic team watched from the sidelines, astonished by humanity's ability to fight back. The humans, who had once been seen as a primitive species, were now facing off against one of the most powerful factions in the galaxy and holding their own. The Galactic team realized that Earth was not just surviving. It was fighting to protect its future. The Xylar, after a series of failed attacks, were forced to retreat. Their forces had taken heavy losses, and their plans to crush Earth were in ruins. The humans, though battered and bruised, had proven themselves. The galaxy had been wrong to underestimate them. Earth had not only survived an attack from a superior enemy, but it had fought back with such resilience and determination that no one could ignore them anymore. For the galactic community, the implications were clear. Earth was no longer a planet to be ignored. It was a force to be reckoned with, and any attempt to challenge its place in the galaxy would be met with fierce resistance. And so, the true power of humanity was revealed to the universe, not through their technology, not through their weapons, but through their incredible will to survive and fight for their place in the stars. After the shocking victory over the Scylar forces, Earth's position in the galactic community had changed forever. No longer was it seen as a weak, primitive planet. The humans had shown that they could not only defend themselves against powerful alien forces, but also outsmart them with their ingenuity and willpower. The news of Earth's resilience spread like wildfire across the galaxy, and soon, representatives from various alien species began to take notice. In the wake of the battle, the Galactic Council saw that it could no longer ignore Earth. The planet had proven itself to be more than capable of defending its interests, and its unexpected resistance against the Scylar had made it a powerful ally, or potentially a powerful threat. To address this newfound reality, the Galactic Council called for a special session to discuss Earth's place in the future of the galaxy. But this time, the Council's attitude was different. There was no longer any talk of Earth being a small, insignificant planet. The conversation had shifted to how humanity could fit into the galactic order. Humanity's leaders, who had never before dealt with intergalactic politics, were suddenly thrust into the spotlight. They had been thrust into the role of diplomats, tasked with navigating the complexities of the galaxy and securing Earth's place among the stars. But Earth's representatives were not naive. They knew that this would not be an easy task. The galaxy was full of powerful factions, each with its own agendas. And now, with the Scylar's failed invasion still fresh in everyone's minds, many species were unsure of how to approach the humans. The first human delegation to the Galactic Council was met with mixed reactions. Some alien species were eager to form alliances, impressed by the humans' strength and resilience. Others, however, were skeptical. They feared that humans, with their military capabilities and unpredictable nature, could become a destabilizing force. A few even expressed concerns that Earth's rise to power could lead to future conflicts. Despite the uncertainty, the humans were determined to prove that their rise in the galactic arena wasn't about conquest, it was about cooperation. They made it clear that their primary goal was to build peaceful relationships with other species, to share knowledge and resources, and to contribute to the greater good of the galaxy. Earth's leaders, though inexperienced, had a strong understanding of the value of diplomacy. They were quick to emphasize humanity's desire to learn, explore, and coexist with other civilizations. One of the first breakthroughs came when Earth scientists shared their knowledge of surviving in hostile environments. The humans, after all, had spent centuries adapting to one of the most dangerous planets in the universe. Their expertise in overcoming environmental challenges was invaluable to many other species. Some races, particularly those living on harsh planets, saw the potential for collaboration with Earth's experts. As the discussions continued, Earth's diplomats also made it clear that they were open to learning from others. They were not just interested in sharing their knowledge, but in gaining insights from the advanced technologies and philosophies of other civilizations. For the first time, Earth was seen as a valuable contributor to the galactic community. However, not all members of the Galactic Council were convinced. Some still saw humanity as unpredictable and dangerous, particularly given their history of conflict. But Earth's leaders were patient, understanding the importance of building trust over time. They didn't expect instant approval, but they knew that with each diplomatic mission and each positive exchange, they could prove that Earth was ready to take its place among the stars. The negotiations were long and complicated, but by the end of the year, Earth had secured its place in the Galactic Council. The planet was no longer just a dangerous world to be feared. It was now a full member of the galactic community, with a voice in decisions that would affect the future of the galaxy. The path ahead was uncertain, but one thing was clear. Earth was no longer a small, insignificant planet. It had become a force that the galaxy would have to reckon with, and humanity was just getting started. As Earth continued to make strides in its interactions with the galactic community, a new and unsettling reality began to emerge. While many species had reluctantly accepted humanity's rise to prominence, there were still those who viewed Earth's unexpected strength with a sense of fear. Earth had proven itself resilient, adaptable, and willing to fight to protect its interests. But it was this very ability to adapt that made many alien races uneasy. The more the galactic community learned about humans, the more they realized just how unpredictable and dangerous the species could be. Humanity's greatest asset, their ability to survive in even the harshest conditions, had been praised by many. But as more aliens studied Earth's history and the way humans operated, it became clear that their capacity to adapt was not limited to the physical world. Humans were quick to evolve in response to new threats, to learn from their mistakes, and to constantly find new ways to improve. This endless drive for improvement, this hunger for knowledge, made them a wild card in the eyes of many. One of the most vocal groups in the galactic community was the Zoran Dominion. Known for their strict militaristic structure and a belief in the superiority of their race, the Zorans had always been cautious of other species, especially those that didn't follow the same rigid code of behavior. The idea that humans, who had only recently joined the galactic stage, could quickly adapt and challenge the established power dynamics was deeply unsettling to them. The Zoran leaders began to whisper among themselves. They saw humanity's curiosity and creativity as a potential threat. The more the humans learned from other species, the more they could use that knowledge to create new technologies, strategies, and weapons. What would happen if humans began to experiment with galactic technology? What if they discovered new ways to manipulate the very fabric of space itself? The possibilities were endless, and for the Zorans, that was the problem. Meanwhile, the Orcs, a peaceful but technologically advanced species, took a different approach. They admired humans for their resilience and ingenuity, but they also saw the potential for cooperation. The Orcs leaders recognized that if humanity could harness its desire for innovation and combine it with the knowledge of other advanced civilizations, they could become a powerful ally. Yet even the Orcs were cautious. They knew that humans had a tendency to push the boundaries, to explore uncharted territories without fully understanding the consequences. As Earth's presence in galactic politics grew stronger, the uneasy feelings only intensified. Humans had already begun to trade knowledge and technology with other species, and their innovations were starting to have a noticeable impact. New farming techniques, better energy sources, and more efficient communication methods were just the beginning. But some species feared what would happen if humanity began to focus its efforts on something more dangerous. The most terrifying aspect of humanity, in the eyes of many, was their unpredictability. While many species followed a certain pattern of behavior, be it peaceful cooperation or cold-hearted conquest, humans didn't fit into any category. They were a wild card, capable of both incredible kindness and devastating violence, often with little warning. This made it difficult for other species to predict what humans might do next. The Galactic Council began to quietly discuss the implications of Earth's rise. Some members called for more strict oversight, while others suggested that Earth be isolated until its true potential could be understood. It was clear that humanity was a force to be reckoned with, but the question remained, was humanity a force for good, or would their endless adaptability lead them down a dangerous path? Despite the fears of some, Earth's leaders remained determined to prove that they were more than just survivors. They were builders, diplomats, and thinkers, capable of contributing to the galaxy in ways no one had expected. Yet, as Earth continued to grow, the questions surrounding humanity's place in the galaxy only deepened. Would Earth become a stabilizing force in the galaxy, or would its endless drive for progress eventually lead to chaos? One thing was certain: humanity's place in the stars was far from secure, and the galaxy would be watching closely to see which path they would take. Earth had undergone a transformation over the past few years. From a planet once overlooked and underestimated by the galactic community to one of the most talked-about worlds in the galaxy. What had once been a small, dangerous planet on the edge of the galaxy was now seen as a growing force to be reckoned with. The humans, who had survived unimaginable threats on their homeworld, had proven themselves on the galactic stage, and their rise had shaken the very foundations of the intergalactic balance. Humanity's resilience and ability to adapt had earned them a seat at the Galactic Council. Once a planet considered too primitive and isolated, Earth had now become a respected voice in decisions that affected the future of the galaxy. The unexpected victory over the Xylar invasion had been a turning point, forcing the intergalactic community to reassess their views of humanity. Earth was no longer just another dangerous world to be avoided. It had become a vital player, one that could shape the direction of galactic affairs. But Earth's journey was far from over. While they had earned their place at the table, many species still viewed them with caution. Some, like the Zoran Dominion, remained wary, unsure of whether Earth's adaptability would lead to more challenges than benefits. Others, like the Orcs, saw the potential for cooperation and growth. The truth was, no one knew for sure what humanity's future would hold. But that uncertainty was exactly what made Earth so powerful. The humans, however, were determined to prove that their rise wasn't about conquest. They weren't looking to dominate the galaxy. Instead, they sought to share their knowledge and build lasting alliances. Their diplomats worked tirelessly, forging relationships with other species and offering new solutions to problems that had plagued the galaxy for centuries. Earth's expertise in surviving in hostile environments had proven valuable, and humans shared their methods for sustainable living, resource management, and technology. For the first time, Earth's scientists, engineers, and leaders were respected on an equal footing with the most advanced species in the galaxy. They were invited to collaborate on projects that would benefit the entire galaxy, projects that ranged from energy production to medical advancements, and even the exploration of new worlds. It was clear that Earth had something unique to offer. But while Earth was making strides in the galactic community, the challenges they faced were far from over. The galaxy was still a dangerous place, filled with factions and species with their own agendas. Earth had enemies, some who were jealous of their rapid rise, and others who feared what humanity could become. The Xylar had already shown that they would not back down easily, and there were rumors of other factions who might seek to challenge Earth's newfound status. For the humans, however, the threat of conflict was not something to fear. It was something to prepare for. Earth had already proven that it could defend itself against the most advanced alien forces. But now, they would need to prove that they could navigate the complexities of galactic politics and diplomacy. They would need to show that their strength came not just from their military might, but from their ability to build alliances, make peaceful agreements, and work together with other species for the greater good. Earth's rise in the galactic community was not just about survival anymore. It was about creating a future where humanity could thrive, not just as survivors, but as equals in a galaxy filled with endless possibilities. The road ahead would be filled with challenges, but for the first time, humanity could see that they had a place in the stars, and they were determined to make it count. The galaxy would never be the same again. And Earth, once just a small, dangerous planet, was now a force that would shape its future for generations to come. The galactic community had begun to settle into its new understanding of Earth's place among the stars. While some species still feared humanity's unpredictable nature, others were eager to form alliances and work with the humans. Earth's unexpected rise had shifted the balance of power in the galaxy, and humanity's future seemed full of promise. But just as the galaxy began to breathe easy, a new threat emerged from the shadows. The Xylar, still nursing their pride after their failed invasion of Earth, had not forgotten the humiliation they had suffered. To them, the idea of a small, primitive planet like Earth standing up to their superior forces was a matter of dishonor. Their defeat was a wound that they could not leave unhealed. In secret, the Xylar began to regroup, rallying other discontented factions who shared their resentment toward Earth's growing influence. These factions were composed of alien races who viewed humanity's sudden rise as a threat to the established order of the galaxy. Their plan was simple yet dangerous. Strike again, but this time with more force and with the element of surprise on their side. They believed that if they could destroy Earth's defenses once and for all, they would not only regain their pride, but also send a powerful message to the rest of the galaxy, one that would remind everyone why Earth was not to be trusted. The Xylar and their allies launched a covert operation to infiltrate Earth's systems. They gathered their forces and struck quickly, targeting Earth's weakest points. The newly established defenses that were still being built up, the communication systems that humans relied on, and key diplomatic outposts that had just started to make connections with other species. It was a well-planned strike, meant to sow confusion and disarray on Earth's home turf. However, the Xylar greatly underestimated the humans' ability to adapt. Earth had not been sitting idle since the first invasion. Earth's military forces were more prepared now than ever before, having learned from their previous encounter. They knew the Xylar would not give up easily, and they had fortified their defenses. Human intelligence quickly identified the weak points in the Xylar's plan, and soon the humans were ready to strike back. This time, Earth did not wait for the attack to escalate. They took the fight to the Xylar first, using their knowledge of the terrain and advanced strategies to launch a preemptive strike. Human forces, aided by alliances formed with other galactic species, attacked Xylar strongholds in a series of daring raids. Their military tactics were unorthodox but effective, using guerrilla warfare, advanced technology, and their unparalleled knowledge of their own planet to turn the tide. The Xylar were caught off guard. They had expected a swift victory, but instead, they found themselves on the defensive. The humans fought with a fire and determination that they had never seen before. The galaxy watched in awe as Earth's forces took the fight to the very heart of the Xylar's operations, using a combination of speed, surprise, and sheer ingenuity. As the battle raged on, the Xylar were forced to retreat. Their plans had failed once again, and their forces were decimated. Earth's military proved that they were not just survivors. They were fighters, capable of standing up to the galaxy's most powerful factions and emerging victorious. The Galactic Council, once divided on how to view Earth, could no longer deny the planet's strength. Earth had faced not one, but two major invasions from a superior alien force and had repelled them both. The humans had proven that they could defend their planet, but more importantly, they had proven that they could protect their place in the galaxy. In the aftermath of the battle, the rogue factions that had aligned with the Xylar were forced to rethink their positions. The galaxy had learned a hard lesson. Earth was no longer a small, defenseless world. It was a force that could not be easily defeated. As Earth's influence grew, so did its allies, and the galactic community began to understand that humanity was here to stay. For Earth, the message was clear. They were not just survivors, they were fighters. And now, they had the galaxy's attention. After the victory over the Xylar and their rogue allies, Earth had firmly established itself as a force to be reckoned with in the galactic community. The once overlooked planet, feared and underestimated by many, was now a respected member of the intergalactic order. Yet, despite their successes, Earth's future remained uncertain. The galaxy was vast, and while some species had begun to see the value in humanity, others still feared what the future held. The humans had proven their strength, resilience, and ability to adapt. But now, they faced a new challenge: how to navigate their growing role in the galaxy. Their rise had been swift, and their place in the Galactic Council was secured. But there were still many who viewed them with suspicion. How would Earth handle the complexities of galactic politics? Would they continue to push the boundaries of what was possible, or would they choose a path of cooperation and peace? Human leaders, aware of the importance of their next steps, took the opportunity to reflect on the lessons they had learned. They knew that their success came not just from military power, but from their ingenuity, adaptability, and determination. Earth had survived, fought back, and thrived, not just by defeating enemies, but by building alliances and working together with other species. With the Xylers' retreat, Earth was faced with the delicate task of maintaining peace while also asserting its place among the stars. The threat of further attacks had not disappeared entirely. There were still factions in the galaxy that believed humanity was too dangerous to be trusted. But Earth's leaders were determined to show the galaxy that they were more than just warriors. They were innovators, explorers, and diplomats, ready to contribute to the future of the galaxy in meaningful ways. Humanity's strength, they knew, lay not just in their ability to fight, but in their ability to adapt and learn. They had proven that they could survive the harshest conditions, defeat overwhelming odds, and overcome their own limitations. But now, the challenge was to prove that they could build a future of cooperation, not just conflict. In the months that followed, Earth focused on expanding its relationships with other species. Diplomatic missions were sent across the galaxy, fostering alliances and learning from others. Earth's scientists shared their innovations in energy, agriculture, and medical technology, while also welcoming knowledge from more advanced civilizations. There was still much for humanity to learn, but the willingness to cooperate was clear. The Galactic Council, once divided over Earth's place in the galaxy, began to realize that humanity's potential was not something to be feared, but something to be embraced. The humans brought a fresh perspective, one that was driven by curiosity, creativity, and a deep sense of resilience. Earth had earned its place in the galaxy, not through domination, but through its unwavering determination to survive and improve. As Earth's influence grew, so did the responsibility that came with it. The galaxy was a vast and complicated place, filled with countless species and cultures. Humanity's challenge was no longer about proving their strength. It was about proving their ability to lead, to build, and to unite. Earth's future in the galaxy would not be determined by its ability to fight, but by its ability to inspire and create a future where all species could thrive together. The path ahead was uncertain, but one thing was clear. Earth was no longer just a small, dangerous planet. It had become a key player in the future of the galaxy, a testament to the power of human ingenuity and resilience. And the galaxy, once indifferent to Earth, now had no choice but to acknowledge that humanity was here to stay.